Which brings us nicely on to Richard Faulkner, who's Advanced Technical Field Consultant with Rentokil, and he knows all about hornets and creepy crawlies and cockroaches and all sorts of things. You're very welcome, Richard. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, good afternoon, Ray.
Just before hornets, are there a lot of hornets in Ireland?
We don't have any hornets at the moment, no. We're on the lookout for the Asian hornet, which is the one that's getting a lot of press, so it's detrimental to honeybees.
Yeah. I'm just looking at you. If I was a cockroach, I'd be afraid of you. You're a big man, you have tats, you know, you're fearsome looking.
Yeah, I don't look like a biologist at all, do I? No. On that one.
So cockroaches, tell us about cockroaches in Ireland.
So yeah, we've got 4 main species, the 2 most common being the German and the Oriental cockroach. You'll get them all over the place. And we also get the American and the Australian. They're colonised quite readily. And then there's one other species, the brown-banded, which we do get occasionally, and that can colonise as well.
Right. And which is the biggest of all of those?
The biggest one you're looking at is the American cockroach. That gets to about just under 2 inches in size.
Right.
So it's a big old beastie.
Yes, yeah. And they have the exoskeleton and then the antenna.
Yeah. So all insects, all arthropods, so anything that's what you call a creepy crawly with more legs than 4 has an exoskeleton. So they're crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. So,
right.
And we're the other way around.
Like a nice roast potato.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Right. Now, we've about 5 minutes to fly through these. Okay, so, loads of questions in for you, Richard. A lot of ants questions. Several anthills at back of house in the wilderness over the years. Didn't mind them as birds fed off them in the winter, but now they've moved into the house. Any advice without having to use some dreaded weed killer solution?
Yeah, so
Mary and Claire.
Garden ants, especially for Mary and Claire, they're going to be outside. They are going to forage in when they look for food. They use pheromone trails. They come back and forth. What we generally tend to do in that situation, if we can see the nest, we directly treat it with an insecticide. If we can't, then we have ant bait stations that we can put outside that's specially designed. Yeah. They've got like a little stairwell and they go up into a pot and feed, and it protects everything else from the bait. So yeah, they can be dealt with that way. But the main thing with black garden ants is finding the nest and taking the nest out.
What's worked for me over the years is ant stop.
Yes, ant stop can work as well. Again, it depends how close to the nest the foragers are. If they're far away, it doesn't work that well. Really, really depends.
And how do those things like ant stop work?
How do they?
No, I mean, do the ants come in and bring some poison back to the...
yeah, it can do. It depends on it, but if it's sort of a bait or a gel...
There's actually a product called ant stop.
Yeah, and you have the different... lots of different ant products that work in a similar... a lot of them are stomach poisons that they bring back to the nest to feed to the queen and the larvae and kill them out.
Claire probably doesn't like that, yeah. So she could call you or she'd get an ant stop?
Yeah, so we've got a website as well, Rentokil, www.ie. You can look at that and you can call us on 1890 666 444 if I don't get to answer everything. I
see these silverfish yolks flying across my bathroom. Next to utility room, how do I get rid of them?
Right.
Why are they there?
Silverfish are quality. They look really prehistoric. They've got a long bristly tail and they move really quick, but they're torpedo shaped. They do look a bit like a fish, hence the name. Moisture. Get rid of the moisture, get rid of the silverfish. So dehumidification, light insecticidal spray, job done usually.
Right, I don't like them. I believe I found a false black widow spider in our house yesterday, about 3 centimetres with a very large black back. Can your experts say what's the story with these? Are they dangerous? Michael wants to know.
Right, so false widows, there's been a lot of press about them. Again, lately, there's been some studies done saying they're more venomous than we first thought. It's a bit like wasps. Look at them, avoid them. Some people will react, some people won't. It's the same as getting a wasp or a bee sting, really.
Okay.
On that one.
And are there a lot of them in this country?
Yeah, there are. There are 5 different species, but the most common are the noble, the rabbit hutch, and the triangular triangulator.
How big do they grow to?
Sort of a centimetre. They're quite big-bodied, but the body gets to about a centimetre, the main part of it.
Right, good luck at that, Michael. I have a rat caught under subfloor in the house. How do I get him out? Can't find the source of entry, but hear him scratching. Thanks.
Right, you need to look, have you had any work done? Have you built any overall drainage and not have it capped off? So it's really a professional job. Get a professional out to look at it. It's a professional.
Yeah.
Once it's on a subfloor, we need to look at floor plans. We need to look at the drainage. You might need to get a CCTV camera survey. All that stuff needs to be looked into it.
Teresa says, we have a lot of old furniture that we bought at auctions over 20 years. We have always found little mites, very tiny things, shy ones, mostly seen under light. I clean the furniture and use fly spray, but they come back. They're in a good few pieces of furniture. They can be beige, white or dark infestations. Right. I'd say would love to get rid of them.
Hard one to call on that. I don't think it's mites. Very unlikely. It could be book lice, which are very tiny little lice-like beetles, soft-bodied, and then micro mold fields. So if there's a little bit of dampness or a bit of moisture and there's mold growth, it's usually down to relative humidity, you'll get these guys, and they change colour depending on the mold they feed, so hence why she might have the different colours.
Right.
Get them a lot of new builds where plaster's drying out for the first 2 years as well, and bathrooms and stuff especially, but you will get them.
How can you get rid of them?
Dehumidification, as she said, when she cleans it down and does stuff, it gets rid of them for a while, but it's the humidity I would have think.
Okay, the factor. Okay, good luck with that, Teresa. Can you ask your contributor how to get rid of wood lice? They seem to have invaded our house this year. Thanks.
Right, so wood lice, similar thing to silverfish. Wood lice are actually crustaceans. They're very closely related to shrimps and crabs and stuff like that, and they need moisture. If you look at your landscaping, especially around your building, cut back all your vegetation. If you've got the sort of woody leaf litter, the chip stuff that you put down, get rid of that, because that's where they're breeding in and they're just wandering in. So look at putting strips on the base of your doors. Again, dehumidification kills your moisture. Heating on.
They're, of all the bugs, they're sort of nice little wood lice,
quality, aren't they? Yeah. I like them. I always liked them as a kid. You kept putting them in matchboxes and stuff.
I know they've had the flying ants in the UK. We haven't had them here yet, have we? Or have we?
We're getting them in small. We haven't had
there isn't one day that it happens all over the country, is there?
There can be, and it's been named Flying Ant Day, and it's a relatively new thing for my 23 years of doing this. But in the last few years, it's been bigged up as Flying Ant Day. They've had a massive one in the southeast of England that apparently we can see by radar and I think by satellite and all sorts, where they've all gone up in the air. So far here we haven't. We've had small little localised ant days, but nothing of that magnitude.
Just remind us what happens there. Is it a breeding day or something?
It's literally, yeah, exactly. It's a free-for-all in the sky. So it's all the new queens and all the males go up in the air and they mate on the wing.
Right.
And then they do that for about 24 hours. They come down to the ground. The blokes die because they've done their bit. And then the female queens chew off the wings, excavate a little burrow.
Chew off their wings?
Chew off their wings.
Their own wings,
yeah,
not the male's wings.
No,
right, okay.
The male's just gone off to die, quite happy, I hope. And they just chew off the wings and they excavate a burrow. And she overwinters there, and then she'll start the colony by laying eggs, rearing the first lot of larvae into pupation, and then the workers take over.
I know now why I'd forgotten what happens, because I wanted to. Thousands of ants copulating out in my back garden, flying around. That's not nice. No. I don't want to know.
On that one.
No. We'll finish on that one. Right, Rachel, we'll talk again. Rentokil, and you can Google them, and you know where they are and you know what they do. Thanks, Richard.